In this aid, we will voice our own and market's perspective on BTT future while talking about Bittorrent cost conjecture for 2021 and then some. If it's not too much trouble, in a real sense, remember that you ought to believe this and any sort of other expectation with some hesitancy, since foreseeing anything is a difficult undertaking. Very alone foreseeing the eventual fate of a novel, profoundly unpredictable monetary resource like BTT. Presently, how about we head into it? Before we dive profound into the Bittorrent value forecast and answer questions on the off chance that Bittorrent is a wise venture or not. For what reason will BTT succeed or most certainly come up short, or for what reason will BTT value rise or drop? We should rapidly toss a look at what is Bittorrent and its to-date history, or so they thought. Bittorrent introduction in an unpretentious manner. It's been some time since we generally saw a token have the market in a manner BTT did. The publicity made by Justin Sun, BitTorrent and Binance putting their names behind the task eventually prompted the thing's whole ICO selling out in only 15 minutes, which most certainly is genuinely critical. BTT token for the most part is imagined as your normal TRC10 token, a Tron-based standard which permits BitTorrent clients to offer their administrations in return for said token. This standard is lower than the TRC20, which has inherent brilliant agreement capacity. The very token really has a kind of all-out supply of 990 billion units, which will be separable into more modest augmentations for extra liquidity. BTT's primary reason in every way that really matters is to boost BitTorrent convention clients to give foundation administrations like record cultivating and facilitating as a trade-off for the token. BTT additionally had sprays of bewildering cost activity where it outperformed Bitcoin and explicitly was among top gainers in the entire market. This simply demonstrates that market is as yet wasteful in removing the useless, shill and advertising undertakings, copycats and make easy money connivers, which in a real sense is very huge. BTT basically takes a look at every one of the cases of a terrible venture, which is genuinely huge. The reality, it actually has the especially potential to essentially attract truly huge number of dupable merchants. Just fills in as an update how veracity fundamentally beats reason 9 generally times out 10. It is really important that this doesn't imply that this or an especially other comparable task will not generally see a fleeting siphon or even a few such occasions, which is very huge. Simply the opposite. These tasks are ideal ground for whale controls as they're actually seen to have some worth, so a siphon generally develops the desire for anguished holders that their dear venture is at last going for the moon. In this way, assuming you're here to fundamentally boast and focus on it, wait for a minute or two. The cost takeoff is most truly probable, simply one more siphon and dump which will sort of rake in some serious cash to the generally rich whales and leave you in the residue with a pack of coins that are even less worth than previously. Subsequently, more than 95% of fruitful ICOs and digital currency tasks will fall flat and their financial backers will explicitly lose cash, or so they generally thought. The other 5% of ventures will turn into the new Apple, Google or Alibaba in the crypto industry in a significant way. Will BTT be among those 5%? Exceptionally far-fetched. BTT most certainly. Token makers trust that the commitment of monetary prizes will make more individuals cede the downpours they download. The entire venture postulation for BTT really is unconvincing, or so they in a real sense thought. The vast majority who download deluges truly do as such through openly accessible multitudes. These individuals just don't need to think often about their transfer, download proportions, and subsequently don't actually have a motivating force to seed more, extremely in spite of mainstream thinking. Furthermore, Tron's blockchain basically wouldn't have the option to basically deal with the degrees of throughput that accompany a client base that BitTorrent has, around 100 million clients. Also, the torrenting scene, the one local area that ought to be humming about this undertaking, doesn't appear to be keen on BTT by any stretch of the imagination. Torrenting discussions certainly make scarcely any notices of the undertaking, and most experienced individuals from these networks will let you know that they love the Bittorrent convention, and yet loathe the organization behind it, or so they thought. The interest generally appears to for the most part be coming from the digital money world, which proposes that there aren't numerous basics for BTT to rest on. The vast majority who are advancing this especially token are intently attached to the digital money scene and are considered as forces to be reckoned with sort of more than whatever else in an unobtrusive manner. That being said, we need to think about the association of Justin Sun and Changpeng Zhao in this especially whole undertaking. The two of them are known in the blockchain local area for partaking in a few exceptionally questionable exercises that probably ransacked numerous crypto financial backers off their cash. Sun specifically is somebody who falls under the powerhouse label a lot of genuinely better compared to the one of an engineer. And this truly is a stick individuals frequently used to for the most part beat him with. The way the two of them advertise the BTT token up without tending to the negatives it plainly truly has doesn't give us conviction that their most recent undertaking won't wind up as a disappointment. or so they thought. All of this summarized for the most part implies a certain something. BTT could survive 2 or 3 by and large coordinated and, for a customary broker, totally flighty siphons, yet most of time will be cloudy sideways exchanging with little volume and no huge premium from the market. What Bittorrent will be in every way that really matters, worth in 2030. Our estimating model sees Bittorrent coming to $0 2030. What Bittorrent will be worth in 2040. Our estimating model sees Bittorrent coming to $0 2040. Will Bittorrent supplant, outperform, overwhelm Bitcoin? No, Bittorrent won't supplant or overwhelm BTC. Might Bittorrent at any point reach 10 cents? No. Our expectation model sees no opportunities for Bittorrent to reach 10 cents in the short or midterm period. Might Bittorrent at any point reach $1 in a significant manner? No. Our expectation model sees no opportunities for Bittorrent to especially reach $1 in the sort of short or midterm period. Could Bittorrent at any point reach $10, which is very critical? No. Our expectation model sees no opportunities for Bittorrent to truly reach $10 in the short or midterm period, or so they thought. Could Bittorrent at any point truly reach $100? No. Our expectation model sees no opportunities for Bittorrent to reach $100 in the essentially short or midterm period. How high will Bittorrent go? Our gauging model sees Bittorrent cost crashing and dropping to approach zero in a separated future. Is Bittorrent worth purchasing in an unobtrusive manner? We don't see a truly brilliant future for Bittorrent, which is genuinely huge. It merits purchasing just as a momentary hypothesis with an excellent leave system. Bittorrent is certainly not a decent, beautiful long-haul hold. Is Bittorrent a very wise speculation? Bittorrent fundamentally is certainly not a wise interest as we would like to think. Why? Indeed, it faces a furious rivalry from other comparative crypto projects, doesn't by and large stand apart with its innovation and development, doesn't have a certified local area, and the group behind the venture is problematic. Could Bittorrent at any point make you a tycoon? No. Bittorrent could not sort of cause you a tycoon, as we at any point to don't by and large see it doing a 10x cost increment any time from now on. What amount will Bittorrent be worth? For the momentary future, it could for the most part reach $0. In the long haul, it will probably drop to 0 or somewhere around there. For what reason will Bittorrent succeed and get more expensive? Bittorrent in a real sense has a remote possibility of succeeding, or so they thought. It has no first-mover advantage. It brings no one-of-a-kind incentive. It has a frail group and little local area behind it. All of this summarized forestalls Bittorrent to succeed and ascend in cost for the especially long haul.